welcome to another episode of SMS News Channel, and I am back. So this morning, I couldn't sleep, so I decided to do a video. And this video is not to bash anybody. This is just to state, like I said, core facts. Because of the fact that we got a lot of people that are biased. That's really just, they don't really know what they're talking about. Okay, I was watching, I think his name is Kevin Samuels. He was talking about like a life without men. He has a very straight and narrow kind of view towards women because maybe he had bad experiences or he just chooses to prey on like weak folks. So somebody said that you should, I don't know, be okay with coexisting with just a woman to woman relationship. And he tried to compare it as basically that black women do that already when they go out with their girlfriends. I don't know what planet you come from where you think that you can just disrespect some of us just because the people that you choose to interview are illiterate and they don't know who they are in life doesn't give you a right to speak for the whole mass of women. I have to say that because I just feel like, to me, I feel like you don't like black women. And this is not a slam to you, but this is an honest fact. There has never been a day where you have spoken to a woman without being disrespectful, without being very condescending, without putting her down. There is a way to teach a woman how to love a man and how to do things with men without speaking and being so biased. Because if we really want to say biased stuff, we could say all you men do this and this and this. You wouldn't like it if we did that. But just to and act like just because one woman, that ain't for all people, and black women especially. You don't understand the level of stress, especially if they grew up in church, the stigma that most men put on women. Like in the apostolic community, Pentecostal apostolic community, women are not supposed to wear makeup, jewelry, or pants. And that has been a thing ever since my mother was a kid. So, and probably even long before that. The thing about it that people don't want to be honest about is people have gone so far to the left that they don't want to be bothered with men, period. That's not the answer. But then to sit there and make a biased statement that that's what we want to do, a world without men because we hang out with our friends, what is, the two don't even have anything to do with each other. First of all, your facts are completely off. You're just basing it off of somebody who's insecure. Let me introduce you to myself. Hi, I'm Sabrina. I'm very secure about myself. Here's why. Because I'm not going to base every single thing about all black men. I've had bad experiences with black men, my father being included. When you deal with people who have been abused, their view of men is distorted. It's been distorted like that since I was a kid. So by the time I became a teenager, I was choosing the wrong people to hang with. Just because I've had bad relationships doesn't mean the species of men is ridiculous. Some of them can be, not all of them. But to just sit there and say all black women are trying to have a society without black men, do you not know what's going on in the world, or do you not pay attention? Because it's not like they're not here, it's the fact that they're getting killed by the police. So what gives you the right to sit there and say that we just want to sit there and live in a coexistent life with a woman just because we hang out with our friends? And then to make the statement about women and tattoos. If that's the case, then women don't like men with a whole lot of tattoos. No woman wants to sit there and deal with a man who's got all that stuff all over the place. Because it really ain't just about y'all. I don't think you guys get it. Just because God made you, I mean, we want to sit here and constantly blame Eve for everything, but y'all had the law. So the fact that you guys are too weak, some of you guys that act like you, I'm sorry, Kevin, but you just don't seem to me like a person that's secure with themselves. I don't know if it's because you've had bad experiences. I don't like the way you talk to these women. It's disrespectful. If you want women to see it your way, then you need to talk to them in a non-aggressive tone. You talking to these women like they're children. They're grown just like you're grown. You wouldn't know want any what you call a F boy to get on your platform and start talking disrespectful. Why are you talking down to the people that raised you basically? I guarantee you, regardless if they're insecure or not, I guarantee you if your mom was probably still alive, she would not be the person that would like to hear you bashing who she is. You know what I'm saying? Just because people have bad experiences with black women doesn't give them the right to say stuff like that. You've had probably sisters and aunties. I don't think they'd be happy to hear that you are bashing them and who they are because you don't know the plight of a black woman. You only know it as a man. As a man, it's always going to be hard because you have to look the part. It's just as hard as it is as a woman. And then to see our own people bash us just to get a check from some Jewish folk, y'all don't even know who you are. The fact that Kevin, like, dude, like, you seem like a very intelligent person, but you don't have a right to put people down who've never had an education. You don't know what their circumstances are. And for you to keep getting on your platform and discrediting, these people do not care about you. Let me just help you out since you're so in delusion. You're on this platform almost every day making 1 hour, 2 hour videos to people you think literally give a fuck about you. And they don't care about your black Negro skin. Let me just repeat that since you just want to keep being disrespectful to women. You don't know what these young women have gone through. And as far as you're concerned, you need to keep your mouth out of women's business. You're not a woman, you have a penis. Until you can have a period and some ovaries and have a child, that gives you the right to say something. But until then, keep your mouth shut. Period. Because what are you sitting here disrespecting women because because you don't like women? Just be honest and say you don't like women because, to be honest with you, it gives off very much I'm a homosexual vibe. And I'm not trying to bash you. This is just me being honest. This is not a diss. This is just me saying the truth. You're dealing with women that are very insecure who don't know themselves. And for you to make like, I remember one situation. Talking about how if you're a frat person or if you are a sorority person, then you don't win. How? So just because I don't allow somebody to haze me, go in my booty, make me wash their gym clothes, make me do their homework just to become a stepper when I could step by myself without even doing all that foolishness, I don't win because I don't have an education? So how do you handle people who come at you differently? I just want to understand it because I get it if there's a lot of women that just bash men. You don't know what the situation is. The fact of the matter is what a lot of y'all men don't get is because a lot of us grew up in church. So the way we were handled was rough. So by the time we got married, we thought that that's what you're supposed to do. Come to find out, depending on who you marry, that person is either insecure or secure. If the person is insecure and they're just a sex addict like my father, they just want you to do all inappropriate stuff. Now, the way women were taught, you only give them that canal. A lot of men that I know, not all, a lot of men that I know would prefer oral sex and doing things anally. Biblically, we're not supposed to do that because of the fact that there are scriptures that state in not only Deuteronomy and Leviticus the laws of the land after Moses and the children of Egypt left from Pharaoh's oppression and went to Mount Sinai to pray and be delivered from the Egyptians. There were laws and set in stones, the 10 Commandments that they were supposed to follow now that they have been free. So in Leviticus is basically the laws that was given to not only Moses, but given to priests that were after Moses. And then right after Moses was Joshua. The reason why I'm being biblical because I don't want to be disrespectful because you're way older than me. But I have an issue with the man, especially the same color as me, that's basically going to bash women. No, just be honest. The main reason why some of you guys go to white women is because you can do everything despicably nasty with them. We were taught we are not supposed to do those things because The only part that belongs to the man is the vaginal canal, because that is for birth and conception only. That's just how we were raised, some of us. Now, if you got some hoodlums, some ratchet ones, that's because they didn't have no home training. But you're not dealing with somebody that doesn't have no home training, and I get disgusted because I like to hear other people's point of view, but being narcissistic is just really stupid. Just because you made it in life, you don't have a right to put a person down. I find it interesting that a lot of men that I see on here that say some stuff that the women are insecure about themselves. They don't have a really good rapport with themselves, and they feel like that's the only way they can make money is bashing black people. These are the same group of people that were in slavery, the same group of people that got raped by the folks that you guys keep thinking that are going to give a damn about you for a check. And you want me to sit here and believe that it's the woman? Are we not going to forget that people were buck busted in front of their family members, that basically the woman and the male son from that woman had to sit there and procreate to make more slaves for the slave masters, but you guys are on here bashing us? This is not disrespecting white people, so don't take it the wrong way just because I talk about slavery. It's a part of our history, unfortunately. If you didn't like slavery, you should have left us where we belong and stayed your ass all the way in New England, however the hell y'all call it. Old England, whatever it is. We really don't care. I mean, the problem is that it's just disgusting how we are as a people at times. We feel like we have a right to sit there and bash each other and disrespect each other, and then have the nerve to turn around and get into the Nation of Islam and say, oh, it's the white man, it's the massa. You acting like the massa for sitting there bashing somebody who you probably came from. Because let's be honest, not everybody had an education. Did you forget that era where people were just not allowed to do stuff because they were black? And then to see somebody that's older than me that has no self-control of their mouth, seems like, you have the audacity to sit there and disrespect women? The women that you choose to talk to don't even know who the fuck they are, and then you're going to sit there and speak that for all women. That's like me sitting there talking to men, and you do not defeminize a woman or emasculate a man just because you had a bad experience. That's not the way to go. What gives us the right to sit there and talk about somebody that we don't even know just because you slept with people? It's just like Cat Williams just said. You can't sit there as my age, just like my age of girls that always say men ain't ish. Maybe it's the people that you screw with, is basically what Cat Williams said, because not every person is not ish. I say ish because I can't say the actual word I want to say because I do cuss a lot. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to do better things. You cannot sit there and make statements about women and basically try to make a biased statement that because we hang out with women, that's the reason why we don't want men. No, some of us don't want to deal with the disrespectful stuff. Some of y'all are very chauvinistic and feel like the woman should be at the house doing none of that. Just being with the kids and cooking and cleaning and being there when you're sexually ready and making sure that we have a job. That nowhere in life is that possible, but because there has been men that have been fashioned like that, not all men but some, that have been fashioned like that, that is the reason why women sometimes either go for same-sex relationships or don't even want to date men at all because of the stuff that they went through. I'll give you an example. My mom went through a lot of hell with my dad because he was not only abusive, he cheated the first 2 weeks of the marriage and then acted like it was no situation and then messed over me when I was 6. She caught him basically giving somebody head, caught him getting bent over, caught him being inappropriate with a lot of things, lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of people that trusted her and believed in her, and still going through stuff, and the doofus is still making money, and all her business is out there on wherever social media that he feels like he has a right to sit there and keep bashing her. He gonna keep on, and he ain't gonna be living long. That's a promise. Because, and I'm not making no threat, I'm just saying you can't call yourself a person that prays and you gonna sit there and keep threatening my mom like that. But that's what I'm saying. If you're dealing with people that feel like they're pretty boy, that they can get away with anything, you know what I mean? Who feel like they basically have nothing, because let's be real. If they didn't have a good relationship with their mom, and he doesn't, he don't know how to treat the women in his life, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to listen to that. I can all day long say men ain't stuff because of my father, but guess what? Not every man is going to treat me like that. Guess why I had to learn that? Because I had to go to counseling. Yes, I have some biases in my life. Yes, I still say some stuff that's kind of off the chain, but that's because I'm working on me. But the fact that you're trying to make it seem like all men, some men actually like women with tattoos. You can't judge just one insecure female for the whole mass of women. You don't know what we go through on a basis. People, some of us ain't even protected. Why would you sit there and say that women don't want men when they're getting killed and shot down in the streets, the women that do? And so we don't have a choice but to figure out what we're supposed to do, get another woman, get another man, or just make it work by yourself, or be basically lesbian. Just because that woman particularly said you should try it and be with a woman and see if you like it, no, that's not, we're not doing that. That's like me saying because you guys go out for beers as boys, you like men. Now that's bias, but it's not bias to say that because we hang out with our female friends, that's the reason why we want a life without men. No, we want a life with respectful men. If we call you gentlemen, you're supposed to be gentle to the women. That's why we call you that. That's what it is. Bible says we're the weaker vessel. Why? Because we came from Adam. And I have to go with the word because the Bible basically teaches you how to be a person. Yeah, I get it. You can't cuss and say the word at the same time. I get that, but I'm just giving an example. I'm not completely, so holy, but I'm not completely all the way in the world. I'm just making it known that I find it disrespectful for somebody who definitely doesn't even have a relationship to come for every woman that you don't even know. Let's talk about the whole elephant in the room, the fact that men want white women. Let's be honest. Most black men that have white women, rarely do they love them. Now, the friends that I have, they love their women. And it's not because they're white. It's because they actually been with them ever since high school, middle school. They've grown up with that person. But guys like you seem like the only reason why they like white women is because they like to be told what to do. You like to tell people what to do. You don't let them know. I'm just saying, if you don't like black women, then just say you don't like black women. But every single episode, you're just basically being disrespectful, dishonest, dishonoring, and arrogant for no reason. So just because somebody don't go to college, that makes them stupid? Just because some woman doesn't want to dealing with an abusive man who feel like they're King Kong because they can come in and do whatever they want? What if you feel like maybe the woman doesn't want to be bothered with somebody that's cheating on them constantly, and then you're over here thinking that it's okay to sit there and come for black women? Yes, there is an episode where Ayana say that some black women are unacceptable. Some, not all. If all black women are unacceptable, that would mean herself, because I didn't know she wasn't black. Excuse me. Not all black women are unacceptable. Some of the stuff that we do can be unacceptable, but not all of us. It's just like all black men are not biased and chauvinistic, but some people don't really know the difference because they make stupid statements like you just did, Mr. Kevin. And you are very smart, and I actually like you as a person. You actually do go for the facts, but the thing that bothers me is that in the midst of the facts, you're very disrespectful towards women, period, and it's not appropriate. Unless she's blonde, that's the only time you have respect for somebody. Is it because in your family nobody was respectable? Okay, you don't realize the younger women in our generation, men do not know how to flirt. Not in our generation, they don't. They just want to see a picture, they want to fuck you, and then that's it. I can't sit there and express that enough. Not everybody is trying to get married. People that are trying to get married, they have to almost marry older because the men, not everybody wants to be married because they don't really want the responsibility. They just want to screw and go. And that is the relationship we have with men sometimes. Not all of them, but some of them. And for you to sit there and make it seem like this is what men want, that's what you want. Not every man is like you. There are some men that actually have good rapport about them. Some of them that love every beat of us. How do we call ourselves loving ourselves? And we got folks like you who are constantly just being disrespectful. And this is going to be for a part 2 on another episode of SMS News Channel, and I'll be back with you guys later.